Blessings, divine reflection. Welcome back to my channel. It's so lovely to have you. If you're new here, my name is Idalis and I'm a healer and psychic intuitive. And on this channel, I like to talk about deep esoterica and give you practical tools to help you along your spiritual journey. Today's video is going to be, of course, about Orion starseeds. We're gonna get into the origin stories of Orion and the mythology of the constellation that is Orion the Hunter. And I'll leave all of the external links of the articles that I used to research this video. However, this video is also going to be a channeling from the Orion constellation and the starseed traits at the end of the video, which there are 7 we're going to get into. There's 8 starseed traits at the end of this video that are mostly channeled information. There's that to look forward to, and I'm also going to give you some ways to tap into the Orion energy. It's not going to be what you expect, so definitely stay tuned all the way until the end of the video to get all of the information and all of the messages. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and turn on your notification bell so you never miss a video. Okay, so if you believe that you are an Orion starseed, you come from the constellation of Orion, and Orion is typically depicted as a strong hunter within Greek mythology. I tried to do like my warrior war paint makeup today, whatever. Orion the Hunter famously is associated with the Pleiadians and is said to pursue the Pleiades or the 7 sisters across the sky to this day. There's also 2 really prominent myths surrounding his death. So in one story, Orion was famously killed by the arrow of Diana, or Artemis, the goddess of the moon, after she was tricked into thinking Orion was a sea monster by the god of the sun, Helios or Apollo, because she's jealous of the love between her and Orion. And in the second story, Orion is killed by Gaia, who's the goddess of the earth, to prevent Orion from killing her animals, right? Because he's a hunter. So she asks a giant scorpion who becomes the Scorpio constellation. Gaia asks Scorpio to kill Orion for her, so he dies by the sting of the scorpion's tail, and then in return Gaia makes Scorpio a constellation. Orion is also then made immortal as well and goes up to the sky. Orion is talked about also in Homer's The Odyssey. The Orion constellation sits on the celestial equator of the earth, of the world, and can be seen from everywhere in the world. And the Orion constellation has ties to various cultures all across the world, all across the globe. There's a very famous Sumerian myth channeled by one of its kings called Gilgamesh. In the Sumerian language, Orion is given the name Uruana, and Uruana means light of the sky, and Uruana ends up fighting with the Taurus constellation, which the Pleiades actually sits in. So there is also a parallel there to Greek mythology, which is very, very cool. The Orion constellation also has tremendous influence in the tracking of the moon in Chinese and Indian astrology, right? As Western astrology tracks the movement of the sun, Chinese and Indian astrology track the movements of the moon, right? In Chinese astrology, Orion is given the name Shen, meaning 3, which symbolizes the 3 brightest stars along Orion's belt. And in Indian astrology, Orion is given the name Mriga. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, I'm so sorry. In European folklore, Orion's belt is often depicted as a weapon or tool that is used amongst gods and goddesses. And from the native cultures of the Americas to the Middle East, Orion's influence is widespread. And now I want to talk about some important Orion gateways. One of the most famous portals of the Orion frequency is the Great Pyramids of Giza in Egypt. The 3 main pyramids in that structure are aligned with Orion's belt. The 3 brightest stars are called Mintaka, Al-Nilam, and Al-Nitak. meaning belt and string of pearls. There's a couple of different theories surrounding why this happened. Obviously, it was to create a portal on the planet. Orion is also said to have connections with Osiris, who is the god of death, rebirth, and the afterlife. He was also the first pharaoh of Egypt. And the second Orion gateway is a channeled message. As I was channeling the Orion frequency, I got a vision of the temples of Machu Picchu in Peru, which were constructed by the Incan Empire. More specifically, the temples of the sun and the temples of the moon. Sumerians constructed these temples in order to view the solstices, and from these temples, specifically the temple of the sun, you can see the constellations from Scorpio to Sagittarius, which is interesting as well. There's the link to the Scorpio, as well as, the change of the seasons and the cycle of life and death are present as well. So yeah, I've been guided to share that message with you. Maybe put that on your bucket list, man, to travel to these places. Maybe you feel connected to these places, to these lands. All right, and now let's get straight into the traits, okay? A great way to connect to this energy as well is to connect to your own inner being. Yeah, the Orions wanted to just get straight to the point, so let's get into these traits. The first trait is that you are a person of the world. Perhaps you feel called to travel or have traveled. You are drawn to the idea of pilgrimage. You also may be drawn to different ways of life, different cultures, and you may be also have been a person who traverses many different walks of life in your own life. Number 2 is that you are meant to have a large impact on the world. That is a telltale sign you may be a Orion starseed. You feel drawn to a bigger purpose. Perhaps when you were a child, you dreamed of fame or stardom or accolades in whatever respective field you feel called to and driven toward, right? That's a sign that you're meant for a bigger purpose. Number 3, you have a very strong sense of self, right? You know who you are. However, you have a very sensitive ego and might not take well to criticism, outside opinions in general. You can tend to be a very prideful individual, which has its positives and as well its negatives. Number 4, you are a straight up warrior, okay? You may have been a very active child, very into sports and just had a lot of energy, right? You may have also felt connected to being a warrior in a past life. You might have been a soldier in war, leading battles, fighting for your tribe, the great warrior of your tribe or something like that. You love getting your hands dirty, you love getting in the mud and getting into the thick of things. You're not afraid to stand up for yourself or others, and you have a very clear instinct. Number 5, you came here to fight the spiritual war between light and dark. As a plant, you are part of the Galactic Federation of Light. Your soul is meant to fight literal demons, okay? Literal dark energy. Your higher self, even if you are not conscious of it in the physical world, your higher self, your spirit self, is fighting the spiritual war that is happening in the higher dimensions, the higher realms. You are a warrior in the physical and spiritual. Number 6 is that you are very aware of your duality, right? You are a light worker, but you are also a shadow worker. You have come here to be a pillar of light and to be a way shower, but you are also a shadow worker. You do things that you may not even get recognized for, right? But you are recognized in the higher realms. Spirit is always watching. You may also be a person who has experienced a lot of violence in the physical realm. You've had a very intense physical reality. Whatever you face is only so that you could get stronger and that you could learn to protect yourself, you could learn to set boundaries, and you could learn to protect other people as well. Number 7 is you are very materially focused. You have a great logical mind, a very detail-oriented mind. You love working toward long-term goals and projects. You may even be a really skilled planner. You're very ordered. You have a very ordered way of thinking. And a great drive as well. This drive and this motivation and this passion that you have for what you do is also very much sexual energy. You have a lot of sexual energy, you know, that kundalini, that fire, that life force. You're very inspiring and people are gravitated toward your energy. You're meant to be a shining example for other people. Number 8, you are a leader. You are also an independent thinker, right? And you may even prefer to work alone. You are very, very, very independent. People who think outside of the box, people who are meant to lead others, are different. It's something you should lean into. Your purpose here is to sync the spiritual and the physical world together. You are here to merge the realms, my love. Ah, so beautiful. Amazing. Thank you so much for watching. I definitely hope that you have received all the information you were meant to. If you want to check out more Starseed videos, you can click the playlist in the bio. Definitely leave any questions for me you have in the comments below. Stay motivated, stay passionate, stay driven, stay hopeful. You're awesome. If you're from Orion, you're pretty lit. So also remember to show up for yourselves, my loves. I will see you in my next one. Stay blessed.